Now, we better get down to what you're actually doing now. You're not making films, you haven't made a film for 6 years.
Well,
is that purposeful, or is it because it's so damn difficult now?
It's a number of factors, really. One of which is that Hollywood has changed in the kind of films they're making. That makes it difficult to get your films done. You know, in the last few years, I mean, I've written, you know, a number of screenplays which we couldn't get made. And the process of trying to get the money is difficult. Bearing in mind, I never really was part of the European cinema. Most of my work has been done in the United States. So that's very difficult to do the kind of work that I do. Also, you know, I always did other things. I was a film director, but, you know, as I say, you know, I started as a writer. So I'm able to write, which gives me a certain amount of pleasure. And, you know, I also paint, and my artistic work, artwork, which has kind of, in recent years, has kind of consumed me more than filmmaking, and that's something that I had no control of, really. It was just where my passions suddenly went.
So now, when you work, it's 90% painting.
Yeah. Because, you know, as I say, you know, the last screenplay I wrote was, I think, the best thing I ever wrote. And it was just impossible to get the money. And, you know, the process, I say, you have to be so resilient. But when you get to a certain age, you aren't really, in that you don't have the same patience or desperation to have to just beat down the doors of whoever it is gives you the money to make films, you know. And as I say, my films tend to be rather expensive, so that process is really quite difficult. And I would not do the films they wanted me to do. You know, I should have done Harry Potter, for instance. I didn't like it, I didn't understand it, didn't think I could do it, and I didn't know why they were asking me to do it. On the other hand, if I'd have done it, I would be very rich, and I could take you back to London in my private jet.
Go on, do the next one.
Yeah.
Well, so now you're painting. Do you think you're getting better as a painter? I mean,
I just noticed I got paint on my trousers, actually. Yeah. A bit embarrassing.
But you really think you're obsessive about painting now, aren't you? I mean, you really work very, very hard at it.
I don't think that you should do, in any area, any artistic endeavour, unless you're so unbelievably passionate, you shouldn't even try. And I felt that about the period that I made films. I couldn't wait to start work on the next one. But then when you get interrupted by a change in cinema and the kind of films that are being made, and it becomes somewhat difficult to get your films done. The passion is not there. I always say it's like holding a handful of sand, and that's your passion for cinema. And then, but after about 45 years, you open that hand, and it's empty. Each grain by grain, it's gone. And at the moment, in the same way that I couldn't wait to get up in the morning to go to a film set, I can't wait to go to my studio to do my work. So it's just a replacement. It's a creative. I've always thought of myself as a creative person, and I've had different kinds of lives as a creative person, and film was one of them. And I think at this point in my life, I find that very rewarding. The worst thing of all is all these elderly film directors who are always complaining about not being able to get their film made, and they've always got a script under their arm which they've been to 500 people to get the money for it. I didn't want to be that.
But what about painting? I mean, you will be having exhibitions and things like that, you hope?
I will. I think in a year I'll have enough for a proper, yes. I think, yeah, I'm very excited by that part of my life, really, to be honest with you.